Oh, sorry. Guys, first of all, happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're also live, of course, on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live behind the scenes on TikTok. Be sure to keep tapping your screens. But if you want to see what I'm looking at and showing to you on my screen, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel or Facebook, the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're also live on Twitch and Twitter at the Kempire. Word on the street, the stream quality is so much better on Twitch. So be sure to check that out. Let me know. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I appreciate you. Where is everyone watching from? Harper says, am I on time? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Bet on Me says, EJ could never sing, or at least she never sounded good to me. Hey, Minky. Hey, Julie. Flying over New York, North Carolina right now. You're in the air and you're here? I love it. Hey, Danny. Haven't caught a live in a long time because of the time difference. Danny, where are you now? Aloha. What's going on? You're in Honolulu. I need to go to Hawaii too. I've never been. Speaking of Hawaii, you know, that's where Erika Jayne was spending a week vacation with Madam Diana New Money Jenkins and Lisa Rinna when she landed in LAX and was served in that $50 million lawsuit. We also talked to you about another lawsuit, a $27 billion lawsuit. We're still waiting on our legal analyst to go through that case, but I went through it on my own. So be sure to check that out if you missed it already. Another legal situation that Erika Jayne possibly could be dealing with. She even posted on her social media, who's Erika White? I don't know, girl, you tell us. Florence, Italy's in the building. Houston, Texas is in the building. New York City's in the building. Canada's in the building. I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, if you're part of the replay crew, we also want to know where you're watching from. We do. We also want to know what you thought of the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And here's the first thing that's going to come to mind. This is our recap, so we will be jumping around. But here's the thing that I won't be going over. I might forget this. Oh, Kenya's in the building. Not Kenya, the country. Not Kenya Moore. Hold on. Let me adjust my chair. Let me adjust my chair. What was I saying? Damn it. This is a live show. I got distracted. South Africa's in the building. California's in the building. Ontario is in the building. Love it. Bonjour. Love it. Love. Dominican Republic is in the building. What's going on? Orlando, Florida. Hey, Sheila. Hey, Naturally Paige. Hey, Russ. Hey, Nora. Shout out to all our mods as well. All right, let's give people a time because I know some people on certain people's time and they need a moment to get into the chat. Okay, we'll give them a moment. Oklahoma's in the building. St. Louis is in the building. Netta, what's going on? VW, Claire, what's going on? Easter, Washington, what is that? Oh, I think I've heard of the name Easter before, but I haven't really seen it. Jazzy, what's not lock her up, Jazzy. I mean, if any of the statements in that $27 billion Erika Jayne, it's not really her lawsuit. She's named in the lawsuit, along with Mauricio Umansky, Kyle's husband, and Rick Hilton, Kathy Hilton's husband, are named in this lawsuit. Oh, Danny, you're in London. I'm thinking about going to London. Stay tuned. If you listen to my podcast, I already told you I need to just start traveling more. I own my company. I can take my job anywhere I go. I need to be everywhere and anywhere with good internet. Guys, if no matter where you're watching, be sure to like the video. Be sure to follow us because last night we were watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills together on TikTok. But here's some news. The reason why we got kicked off, it wasn't because anyone reported us or we did anything wrong. No, the United States, TikTok had a massive outage. So everyone that was on live on TikTok last night got kicked off for a moment. It wasn't long. Ola. Not Ola. Ola, her name. She's watching from Norway. Hey. Sydney, Australia's in the building. What's going on, Wentworth? Wentworth fan. I like Wentworth too. Okay. So when we were watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we were kicked off. So we went to Instagram. I'm going to start streaming on Instagram too because I feel like the quality on Instagram is a little bit better than. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, Judy, watching from Los Angeles. Oh, someone said, you said what we will not be going over. Oh, thank you. All right, elephant brains in the chat, in my TikTok chat. None of y'all reminded me in the live chat here. It's okay. It's all right. The person that we won't be talking about this episode. No, we'll talk about her now, but we're not going to talk about her for the rest of this episode or probably this season. Dorito. Hey, Czech Republic. Oh my gosh. I feel like the international, well, our international folks, that they love this time because they're able to watch. I love it. So shout out to everyone watching from around the world. I love it. I love how the internet connects all of us. Back to this. Speaking of international, Dorit Kemsley. I'm not going to talk about her scenes because I almost completely forgot about the DUI that PK got while they were filming. Those scenes were nothingness. Oh, Dusseldorf. Hey. Keep telling me where you guys are watching from because I love hearing it. I don't care if you come in an hour late. I want to keep figuring out where everyone's watching from. Dorit, oh girl. Look, I'm not going to go over the burglary or what I think it is, or does the burglars deserve a diamond? We weren't talking about the burglary this week. We were talking about this failed DUI. Shout out to our friends at Bravo Snark. Sorry for this. I don't want to talk about Dorito anymore. Dorito, this will be your last season for us. You come back next season for what reason? Oh, don't come up with something even more outlandish for next season for us to be talking about. Her scene with PK, I was like, what? I only watch it because I know I'm going to be talking about it here. Just in case she says something that I'm like, oh, I can't fast forward, unfortunately. But remember, rumor on the street, Dorito was not going to come back in a full-time capacity, if at all. Because even though she's filming, doesn't mean that she can't be edited out. They've done it before. Oh, Tracy. Just saying. And then all of a sudden, the burglary happened. And look, I don't know what happened there. Look, we've all speculated. I'm just glad everyone was safe. No matter if it was fake, real, whatever. I'm just glad everyone is safe. This week, we're talking about... Okay, I spent way too much time already on this. I spent way too much time on this. So this episode, excuse me, is called Beverly Hills Blackout. Okay, because it's all about Erika Jayne. I'm so glad that I had some time to watch the after show, just to kind of give me a little bit more clarity on this whole situation. And I want to ask the live chat and replay crew, do you think that Garcelle is overdoing it? Is she jumping to conclusions in regards to Erika Jayne's drinking? Hear me out. Hear me out. At first, because here on the channel, when we talk about some of the excessive drinking that we see in celebrities and reality TV shows, I'm always saying, like, I don't want to jump and call someone alcoholic. I'm not an expert when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm not going to sit here and call Erika Jayne an alcoholic. However, Erika Jayne in the after show says she admits that she's in crisis. So if you are in crisis because of everything that's going on with you, rightfully so, there is a lot going on around her. But if you are saying that you are in crisis and you are abusing pills and alcohol, your friends, the Fox Force flunkies, should be concerned. They shouldn't be just writing it off. She's having a good time. We've never seen her this loose. Those are the type of friends that you don't want around you. And that was one thing this episode that I could agree with Crystal Kung Minkoff. She's like, those are not the type of friends that I want around me. I want friends that are around me that are going to call me out when necessary. Same here, Crystal. And those are the only types of real friends that I have in my life. I don't need yes people. Especially in this industry of entertainment, there are plenty of people that will go, yes, Kempire. Everything you say is correct, Kempire. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm not that type of friend either. Okay? Just pointing that out. Okay, let me just say thank you. We got a couple of super chats. And again, guys, if I miss your super chat, please understand. Unless I see you guys remind me in the chat, I try to catch them. If I don't catch them, please understand it's not personal. It's not personal. I just may have missed it. I'm human, okay? I'm human, okay? I'm human. I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes.
You know what I mean?
Okay, let me just say thank you. Brooklyn Taylor, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Draco and Kodak, thank you so much for the super chat. They say, love how Kyle said labels are dangerous, yet had no problem blasting her sister as an alcoholic in season 1. And I saw a lot of people saying this. And look, I was with Kyle at one point in regards to, I don't want to label Erika as an alcoholic because I'm not an expert in that field. Okay. And we have to also keep in mind, Garcelle also has dealt with, in her family, someone with an addiction problem. And of course, they're reacting to it differently. Kyle, she has a very interesting way of reacting to people's issues that she can be familiar with. Interesting, but like I said, I don't want to jump and say that someone has a problem. However, Erika has admitted to mixing alcohol and pills, and in the after show said that I was in crisis and I'm still in crisis. So if you are in crisis and you are abusing alcohol, that is dangerous. And your friends should be calling you out. Your friends should be showing up. Oh, I can't wait for the producers to shake up this cast. They need to shake up this cast because the Fox Force flunkies, they have decided to use this mean girl mentality. That's why they're the only ones with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills mean girl hashtag on social media, because they've decided to use this and try to weed people out of this show. And producers have allowed this to continue because they think that this is working for them. Hold on. Hold on. Matthew says, alcohol and pills do not mix. Whitney had a mix of alcohol, drugs, and pills when she was found. Yeah. Hey, Storm. Storm says 100 to fresh faces and new storylines. Shivy says, sick of them. Kyle is getting to me the most. Kyle is, and Crystal says in the after show that Kyle seems to, and this is what we see with Kyle and Garcelle when Garcelle is talking about Erika's drinking. She says she just always wants to disagree. Even if she agrees, she's just going to disagree. And also pay attention to Kyle's faces when Garcelle is speaking. And I love the fact that Garcelle is not afraid to become combative with, especially with Kyle. She was like, you can give her slack, but I don't. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So let me start from the top. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We will be live later today to recap the Real Housewives of Dubai. Speaking of which, Andy Cohen, I already told you guys this, but Andy Cohen has confirmed they are filming the Real Housewives of Dubai here in New York City right as we speak. And as you know, it's going to be a long day for the ladies. So ladies, buckle up. Buckle up. And I already can tell that somebody has chosen the wrong team. We'll talk more about that later today when we talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai. Oh my gosh, the amount of, I just can't. I can't. So they're filming the Real Housewives of Dubai. If you could just take a look behind the scenes of where I'm according to my sources close to production, there is no theme because it's Dubai. So Dubai really is the theme. I just can't wait to see the fashions. Per usual, once the fashions are released, we will go live and talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai fashions. I believe that they're all going to bring it. Definitely Chanel Ion. We're going to talk more about that later and the microaggressions from that episode. I just can't wait to see the fashions. I can't wait. I can't wait. Damn it, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. Look. Vault. Vault, okay? Louisa says, I am will bring the... Oh, she will. She was bringing the fashions in her interviews this week. I was like, okay, girl, just stunt on us. All right. Who said, Kate, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Fox Force want Sutton off. Sutton won't push lies. This is true. This is true. Miss Howe, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Kathy took one look at Erika and knew she had a problem. Kyle is an enabler. She's so protective of Erika, but where was this energy for Kim? She's vile. Oh, look at you in this picture. Look, look, we're talking about being single and dating in this episode a lot with Sutton. Jack, thank you so much for the super chat. Jack says, Kempire, side note, have you seen Sheree's interview stating she deems Erika, or Sheree's interview stating she deems Erika and Diana to be the nicest, realest, and most genuine, but calls Sutton interesting? Sheree has been playing, you know how we talk about twerking on the fence? She's been showing signs of that too. But look, she has her own mind. I'm sure she will talk more about this, and we'll see how their friendships play out during the season. And let's be real, I'm not going to sugarcoat it either. I didn't love Sutton when Sutton first came on the show, and Sutton is interesting. We saw that from her dating this week. But you know what I love about Sutton is that she seems like a real friend. She doesn't seem like she's going to follow along with the rest of the group just to follow along. And I like that there's a genuine friendship between her and Garcelle. Foxy says Sheree is not doing a good job. I mean, based on what I've seen so far, because I see, you know, the Bravo universe, like they've seen Sheree for a hot second. They're like, give her a diamond. I haven't seen anything to say that to me. I like the cute fun that she's brought so far, but that's friend of vibes. I don't know what's going on in her personal life. I don't know if it's that interesting. I'm okay with Sheree for now, but I have noticed that Sheree looks like she's playing the fence a little bit. But I also love the fact that she's trying to get to know the ladies separate from her best friend, Garcelle. Because if she was ride or die for Garcelle, y'all would be talking about, someone says she's twerking on the wrong side. But she still has her friends back when necessary. So I'm okay with Sheree. I'm okay with Sheree. We shall see how this all plays out. But let me start at the top. I feel like all the reality shows right now are giving us Christmas themes, and y'all know how I feel about Christmas. So I'm just like, I'm ready for Christmas. I know it's what y'all thinking, but I'm thinking. Christmas. So we're still at Diana Jenkins's Christmas soiree. And of course, her boyfriend sings. And look, I'm going to start off nice. He can sing. He was also in a boy band. But I just feel like they're using this show to promote his music and his career. This is why we have him sing. And it was a beautiful song. I love that song. It's one of my favorite Christmas tunes. But seeing Erika start to sing with him, I was like, oh God, we already know. It's still July. Calm down. It's exactly Christmas in July. Anyways. So we had that moment where Garcelle comments on, this is embarrassing. This is quite embarrassing. Her trying to sing along with, what's the boy's name? I don't even know his name. It's unimportant. He won't be here next season anyway. I don't need to learn the name. But before that, Erika, at the top of this episode, as it ended last week's episode, pretty much taunts Crystal, you can't have these chicken fingers. And see, if Crystal was a different person, she could have gotten it in that moment. So there's another awkward conversation. So after Erika embarrasses herself by yelling and screaming while Madam Diana's, Asher, thank you guys. Asher is singing. Great voice. Lisa Rinna's like, he's magical. These people are so fake and phony. So he's singing, it's the feeling of the holidays. It's the feeling of the holidays, okay? So the groups separate, and this new tr- trio, Diana, Erika, Lisa Renna, are all having a conversation. Kathy Hilton's there as well. Kathy Hilton is feeling awkward, because you can see that Erika Jane is very inebriated. She started drinking before she even got to this party. But Kathy Hilton's just like, which is exactly what I would have done. It's a bit chilly out of here. I'm going to get out of here. But before she does that, Erika's just like, I just want to say, um, I thank you for inviting me to your events, but I have this scarlet letter on me, and I didn't want to associate you with that. Kathy Hilton's just like, I'm just happy that you RSVP'd. You let us know that you weren't coming. Kathy didn't care if she came or not. Kathy, why'd you invite her to Paris's wedding anyway? You don't need any more scammers at that wedding. But Kathy hightails it out of there because it was awkward. It was awkward. She starts crying, Erika Jane. She starts crying, and Kathy was like, she's like, well, I'm just glad you let me know that you weren't coming. But she was like, but Paris looked. Okay. Kathy hightails it out of there, and she comes to where Kyle, Garcelle, and the other ladies are. Mind you, I didn't even realize that Dorit wasn't at this party. I knew Sutton was missing, but I didn't even notice that Dorit wasn't at this party. Anyone else? Anyone else? So, Kathy Hilton comes over and she says she's out of control, referring to Erika Jane. But here's the thing, because you guys know I'm a straight shooter. Kathy Hilton, there was a story during last season that came out. Kathy Hilton was at that restaurant, and allegedly she was so inebriated she came out wearing the tablecloth. Look, everyone can get it. Everyone can get it. I mean, I still prefer Kathy Hilton over this other mess. But you guys remember that story, right? Anyways, so they had this conversation, and that's where Garcelle says to Kyle, you can give her slack, but I don't have to. And here's the thing that people keep forgetting. Not only did Erika Jane curse at her 14-year-old son, Garcelle's son, while inebriated, so she's taking this a little bit more seriously. You're coming at my children, and you're flirting with my eldest son? Let Erika flirt the way that she flirted with one of their married husbands. I know that's a double, whatever. See, that's the thing. Erika hasn't come after one of their children. Erika has not flirted with their husbands while inebriated. Because don't forget, Oliver is married. Oliver, don't forget that you're married. Kiana, thank you so much for the super chat. Kiana says, since Erika and some of the husbands are named in the fraud case, I'm curious about the future of Beverly Hills. We also don't know, because I'm hearing mixed reactions from attorneys in regards to that fraud case. The $27 billion one, the validity of that and how far that will go. But we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. All right. Jag, thank you so much for another super chat. Jag says, it's good Erika never went on The Voice. She could never. She could never. Her career was a front, allegedly, for Tom and his antics. All right. See, Adrian says, I forgot he's married. I think he did too. I kid. Or am I? Anyways. All right. Reese says Kyle's standing up for her partner in crime. Drama says we need a new cast. I think they need to ease us into that. Paris, I have not seen this. Paris says, Kempire, have you seen Abby Lee Miller's pyramid rating for the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I literally saw the video, but I didn't watch it. I was like, oh, what is she doing? I didn't watch it. Esther says I skipped through Asher singing. He actually doesn't have a bad voice. He doesn't have a bad voice. He actually has a nice voice, and he's been in the industry for a while now. But I think he's trying to launch a solo career and whatever. Anyways, so we have that whole issue at the party. They have their own side conversations because Garcelle is really concerned. And I said to you before, I'm not one to jump and say that someone is an alcoholic, but Garcelle, I believe, is really concerned. And it's not just judging her, but I think Garcelle's also concerned because of her experience with her son, but also what happened recently, her children being attacked by Erika Jayne. People are forgetting those elements. Okay, none of your husbands or children have been attacked by Erika Jayne while she's been inebriated. So there also happens to be a conversation that happens between Garcelle and Diana. So while Erika Jayne is very drunk and Garcelle is about to leave and she comes to see, Erika Jayne has to be escorted out by Lisa Rinna. All right. So Diana believes because Sutton wasn't at this party, she can see in Garcelle's eyes, you like me. I think Garcelle is just like, I'm trying to be nice. You invited me into your home. I don't think Garcelle likes her. Honestly, I think based on Garcelle's experience with Diana, multiple experiences that we've seen throughout the season so far, she's been very rude. I don't think that Garcelle likes Diana. Just say. And if you do, Garcelle, keep it to yourself. Brooklyn says tolerates. She tolerates Diana. I don't even know she tolerates Diana. But also, one of the other things, and Erika has admitted this before, that she's mixed pills and alcohol together, which you should not be doing. You should not be doing that. Okay? Let's move on. Because Kathy, these little antics of Kathy Hilton last season were cute. This season, I'm looking at it a little differently. I'm just like, her hiding Kyle's purse and Kyle leaning into this as a story. I'm just like, because I think producers, you guys loved Kathy and Kyle's antics last season. We're going to give you a little bit more. That was such a nothing part of the scene. Let's move on. I'm skipping over the PK and Doritos stuff. Okay. All right. So Erika has a meeting to launch her pretty mess hair, whatever it is. We already reported on how that's a scam, allegedly. Overpriced hair extensions. Sidebar. Rihanna's coming out with Fenty hair. And trust and believe it will be worth whatever price Rihanna sets for it. She has not launched it officially yet, but according to sources, she's filed the paperwork for Fenty hair. So that's coming. So save your coins and don't waste your coins on you know who. Thank you so much, Norma, for the super chat. She says, love that Erika relies on Rinna's daughters for help, right? Did you guys notice when she said that? I was like, don't they have their own issues? And aren't you way older than they are? Just saying. RoboBeth says, no, Kempire, no more sidebars, and says, I'm kidding. It's okay. It's all right. I have sidebars because I feel like they're relevant to what we're talking about. But I know you're kidding. All right. So she has this meeting. Mikey's there. Her partner in this situation, she lets him leave, but she says, Mikey, stay. Because they're going to give us a pre-produced moment. We're going to have Lisa Rinna confront her about her drinking, and Mikey's going to chime in, and they're going to give us this little sob story. Oh, she's going through something. That's why she's mixing pills and alcohol. And Mikey, I'm sure probably is getting a little bit of a check for being a guest this season. So that's another way that she's paying for him. Because we're all like, how are you paying for a publicist, an assistant? You're still paying for Mikey. Remember the guy that got Mikey the job with Erika? He did a whole story, a blog on this. And she said, Mikey made a whole lot of money working for Erika. Made a whole lot of money. I'm sure he's not making that same type of coin anymore. Brooklyn, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Boxer Girl says, totally pre-produced scene. Totally pre-produced. And Lisa Rinna is leaning into it because she's like, I'm an actress. Not a very good one. Just saying. So they had this whole conversation, but this is also where we learn about Lisa Rinna's sister who had an overdose as well. Well, not as well, but had an overdose. So she talked about her own, experience with addiction and things like that. Erika reveals in this conversation with them that when she got home, she blacked out and hit her head. Do we really believe that? Here's the thing. I don't know if this is because Erika Jayne is not trustworthy. I don't know if this is just a way for her to secure her spot on the show, because I've talked about this before. Because if she has a problem, they can't fire her. They can't fire her. Or it's just a way for her to have a storyline this season that is not about her legal trouble. Because notice how they really haven't talked extensively about all of the legal situations that have come up, but she was just served in the racketeering $50 million lawsuit. Andy, everyone's saying that you better bring it up. You better bring it up. Someone said, where's the scar? Rob says, why can't they fire her? Well, if you admit to having a problem, your employer cannot fire you. It makes it they are opening themselves. Look here, me pretending to be an attorney, but I do know that much. That's why they paid for Kim Richards to go to rehab. Just saying. But like I said, it could be that, or it could also be that she just wants to have a storyline. Just saying. Exactly. KK says addictions are under mental health. But I think it could be a combination of both. Brooklyn says wrongful termination. Like there are a few different things that are happening here with Erika Jayne. I think it's partially a storyline to distract us from all the real legal things that are happening with her right now. But also, it also has a extra kick to it where, they can't fire her. She can secure her spot for the next season. Because a lot of you have been saying you're over Erika Jayne. You don't want to hear a news report on Erika Jayne. You don't want to see Erika Jayne on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, especially as more and more information comes out about her involvement, her alleged involvement in the crimes of her estranged husband. All right. I feel like I've talked about Erika way too much at this point. There is also a montage of all the ladies talking about their holidays and how they spent their holidays. Great. Garcelle and Sutton, one of my favorite scenes from this episode, because you can tell that these two genuinely like each other. And Sutton comes to visit her after having COVID, and she's talking about the reality. And I'm sure anyone that's single and maybe around Sutton's age, or you don't have to be, can relate to the dating world, can relate to maybe spending Christmas alone, especially during the pandemic. Quite a few people at the top of this pandemic spent Christmas alone. And she says she called a bunch of her exes at one point. I felt for Sutton, and I feel like Sutton understands the assignment now. I feel like she's definitely evolved. Like, she's giving us funny moments. She's giving us vulnerable moments and real moments, a real friendship. I love these moments with Sutton and Garcelle, because she said this is how her and Garcelle have really connected, being single moms. Her ex has moved on. Her ex has a girlfriend that was spending the holidays with her, them and the kids. Poor Sutton, she's like, it made her reflect on her life, being at home by herself during COVID, having COVID. And she talked about the struggles of dating And I was like, damn, yeah, dating can be tough. And that's why some people, when they date, they're just like, oh, I just can't. I don't want to date anymore. Because sometimes you meet some really strange characters. But I have to say, after watching the after show and watching this, you can learn a lot in regards to dating. I mean, I don't know if you have an assistant, but maybe you got a good best boyfriend, girlfriend that can be there for you when you go on this date. She always has her assistant there in case, because she's like, I don't want to get roofied. Smart though. Smart. Smart. Oh, hey, Juice says I don't date anymore either. Ooh, Cheryl says Sutton seems more of a friend than Sheree. I mean, based on what we've seen on the show, I can agree with that, but we don't know the true aspect of their friendships. But Sutton does come across more of a friend, but she's also not new to this group of ladies like Sheree is. So Sheree is trying to get to know all the ladies. But we got our eyes on you, Sheree. We have our eyes on you. Robin says, I said it before and I'll say it again. I do not believe Erika's storyline of mixing alcohol and pills. She's using it to cover or distract from her criminality. I said that too. Liam says Sheree is a quota. Brooklyn Star says, I can't figure Sheree at the moment. Sheree. I know you're watching this recap. People are not sure where your head is at. Foxy says Sheree is a bit of a wonk, wonk, wonk. Says Fox Force flunkies, that part, are making the show so heavy and gross. They got to mix those group of women up, and they can start with Dorito. Dorito can go. You can already get rid of Diana Jenkins because, bravo, we still haven't heard you address her comments to Philly Diva about being it can't feel good to be a Black content creator, because your comment, your statement after that, your apology was nothing. Oh, I forgot about this moment. Kathy saying that she knew Sheree was so funny. I also feel like that was her again leaning into what happened last season. Or it could have been real. I don't know. Maybe I've been watching reality TV too long, but I do feel like some of this stuff that Kathy's doing and mimicking from last season, I'm just like, okay. It's all right, though. All right. So Garcelle and Sutton have these conversations. They also talk about what's going on with Erika. And Garcelle says that she's going to confront her on her drinking and things like that. And Sutton's like, I'm not getting involved, because you know what happened last season when she got involved. She says she's not getting involved. And based off the mid-season trailer that we talked about last week, you can see because Sutton's not getting involved, she's able to foster some type of friendship with Erika Jayne later on in the season. We shall see how long that lasts, because Erika Jayne, every single week since the season began, has been trying to discredit Sutton and turn everyone on Sutton, including her closest bestie, Garcelle, as we saw in the last scene of this episode. Guys, if you're just joining us, we have almost 1,700 people in the building here on YouTube, here also on Facebook and Twitch and Twitter. We appreciate you. We also have a good amount of people on our TikTok as well. TikTok, keep tapping your screens. But if you haven't liked the video already on YouTube, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel, but also other channels that talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Also, guys, if you haven't already, a new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio, came out yesterday. Yes. A new episode came out yesterday. So be sure to check out Kempire Radio on your favorite podcast platform. More details, as always, are available at kempireradio.com. And don't forget, the visual version will be uploaded on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let me also say thank you. Suzette, thank you so much for the super chat. Suzette says, if this is supposed to reality TV, then please show the reality of Fraud Fuck Force 5. I don't get what producers are doing with this. I don't get why Dorito even came back. Thank you, Beth. I believe I also answered Beth's question during our new podcast episode. So stay tuned for that, guys, as well, if you haven't checked it out already. Did I miss a super chat? Let me just make sure. I think we're good, right? If I missed your super chat, I apologize. But I think I got it. All right. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, what's going to be our goal today? We have 1,600 people in the building. I'll drop the call in link once we get to 750 likes. 750 likes. However, I'm going to drop the call in link for our Royal Court members first. And guys, we're almost at 150,000 subscribers here on YouTube. If you haven't followed us on YouTube, if you're not subscribing, you're just watching, subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to our backup channel, Kempire Radio, where we have our past interviews with people like Brandy, Music Soul Child, Oprah Winfrey, all of those folks over there. If we can post a link to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel in the live chat, please do so. Thank you so much. Let me drop the call-in link right now for our Royal Court members on the community tab on YouTube. And again, callers, no profanity, no derogatory statements, especially about people's children. Just saying. Hold on, let me just drop this here. So Royal Court members, I've dropped the call-in link on the community tab. Team Kempire members, I'll be dropping the link in a few minutes on the community tab as well. So members will get first access. Let me just put this here. What's going on? Color and chat with Joanna. Watching all the way from Delaware. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Norma says, can we say that Oliver is fine? Why can't you say it? You can say it, but not try and sleep with the man. Just say it. Let's not just try and sleep with the man. See, Sheree says, yes, we can, Norma. Thanks, Gustav. All right, let me just say thank you. We have the super chat. Who said? Kate says, "Cheers to Kempire's worldwide community." Yes, I love that. I love that about the internet. I love that we have such a great community. First of all, no matter where you are in the world, we have such a great community that shares their opinions in a thoughtful and caring way. All right. Oh gosh, I can't believe it's Thursday already. My Lord. All right. Again, reminder to the callers: no profanity. Short and sweet. We're not going through the entire episode. Please let us know what you thought of that specific thing that you want to talk about. And please be brief, okay? So that we can get to everyone. All right? All right. Jean says, the whole episode was full of nothing. I have to say, these last couple of episodes were not that good. Were not that good. All right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat, color and chat with Joanna. Thank you so much. Shine on Kempire. Karithika, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, hey, Kempire, your fan following is increasing here in India. Let us know next time you're here. More than happy to receive you and show you around. Oh my goodness. And New Delhi was the last place that I went. That was the place I flew. And thank you so much for the super chat. When I went to India, that was where I flew into the last time. And I had such a fantastic time. I went like everywhere in India. I went to Nepal as well. I can't wait to go back to India. I really, really, really can't. I am planning to go back. So probably not this year, but 2023, India. See you guys then. And thank you so much for the support. Okay. All right, let me finish up what I was talking about. So Sutton, after hanging out with Garcelle, Sutton is preparing for her date. We finally get to meet Sanjeet this episode. And I respect Sutton because she's like, you know what? I want him to be tall. I want him to be educated. But she also has some things that she doesn't want. Okay. And hold on, where did she say this? I wrote it down. What did she say? Oh, she says, oh my goodness. Oh, she says deal breakers for her: hoodies, ponytails, and a white unmarked van. I agree with her. I don't know about the hoodies. I love a hoodie, but I'm just saying, I don't know about a ponytail. I mean, if it works. But Just saying. Anyways, I'm skipping over the Dorit and Kyle scene because that was again more of nothing of Dorito talking about that situation of PK and his DUI. Don't care. Don't care. But Sutton goes on her date. This is like her 5th date of, I guess, just dating. But I think it's her 2nd date with Sanjeet, who was on Jeopardy. You could already tell this man was brilliant and smart because he's going out with Sutton. She's not going to date someone that's stupid. But Sutton is so awkward during the date. She's talking about the reason why she's itching her leg, and then he zoom in on her leg. I'm like, okay. But I have to say, even these scenes are cute and entertaining. Are they making the show? No, but a lackluster episode, those were far more entertaining. I can't wait till the reunion or maybe the rest of the season if we get more dates of Sutton and Sanjeet. Maybe. I can't with Sutton, though. She's a mess. She is interesting. That's the best way to describe. I would rather someone say that I'm interesting versus dull and boring, Dorit. Right? Especially for reality TV. So the last scene that we get with for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, if you guys just join us, that's what we're recapping, is that Garcelle and Erika meet up. And Garcelle and Erika are meeting up, I guess, just to have drinks and to shoot a scene. And look, I'm going to start off nice. They both look great. They both look great. Okay? So, and here's the thing. Don't you hate it when you go to some place and they give you a menu and you order something off the menu, like, oh, we don't do that up here. Then why are you giving me this menu? Have a separate menu for up here. I want to get a chamomile tea. Don't you hate that when you go somewhere? Oh, yeah, we don't have that. That happens a lot when you go to a Jamaican restaurant. Oh, we run out of that. It's 2:00. Are you not going to make more? That's why anytime I'm going to the Jamaican restaurant, I make sure I go early because I'm just like, I don't need anytime after 2-3 o'clock. It's suspect. It's real suspect. What you mean you ran out of rice? Make some more. It's only 2:00. So when she tells her that she can't have the chamomile tea, well, then I'll get the cognac. And Garcelle's like, girl, there's so many other options you could have. So they do talk about their, Erika's drinking. And Garcelle, I have to say, Garcelle was respectful because some people could have been disrespectful, especially after talking to her young son the way that she did. And she's like, I appreciate you. Guys, please go back and listen to Erika Jayne and how her voice has changed over the years. When they flash back, I'm like, oh my God, whose voice is that? She's like, I appreciate you, easing into this conversation. And she admits that she blacked out and she's mixing pills and drinking. And we're like, okay. And then she says, I'm going through a lot right now. I lost my home. I lost the husband and I lost all the stuff. At no point does this woman say or reference anything that's not material. Even the husband. I know some people are like, well, she said she lost the husband. The husband that stole from victims to give her the material things. She lost the husband that was providing these material things. At no point she's like, you know what? My life is in shambles because of like deep things. She's not, it's all surface with Erika. But I did not expect this conversation to take the turn that it did. Of course, Forever the producer, Garcelle is like, now that you're seeing things a little bit clearer, like, are you seeing anything with the friend group? And she brings up Sutton. Erika brings up Sutton. She says, Sutton is a liability for you, Garcelle. You're telling someone that they're a liability for being a friend after you cursed at her son, after you've been drunk at multiple parties, group events. Sutton's the liability? Sutton is far from a liability, even if we weren't filming a show. Sutton has her ish together. You are a liability. You were a liability even before the drinking. And this is why Sutton was very concerned about being a friend with you, especially after all these illegal things were coming out. You are the liability. Stop projecting. Erika Jane Girardi, Erika White. You're the liability. But as I said, since the season began, Erika decided that she was going to try and discredit Sutton at every turn. And she got her Fox Force flunkies together to say, let's do it. Okay. But Garcelle's not falling for it because Garcelle is not an idiot. Garcelle's like, she's a liability. She's like, I don't understand why you guys are constantly coming for Sutton. I don't get it either. I don't get why she's constantly coming for Sutton. No idea. No idea. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting our channel, but also other channels that you may not even know about. They'll start to show up on your algorithm, including channels that cover pop culture news like we do here on this channel. Don't forget also that we've released a new episode of our podcast where I talk about not just hot topics, but a whole variety of things, including personal stories like my trip to Tennessee. So be sure to check that out as well. And of course, you know, our new merch is now available at houseofkempire.com. You can get water bottles, you can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, even things for your babies and your kids are now available at houseofkempire.com. Let me take a sip. Look. All right. We're going to get to some callers because I know I've already been talking for almost an hour. And I could say a lot more about this episode and the after show. But the after show just it was actually a very short after show. But it kind of gave me more perspective that if Erika is saying that she is in a state of crisis because of everything that's going on in her life, and her friends are just saying, oh, you know, she's always so uptight and she's just letting go right now. And no, if someone tells you that they're in crisis and they're using pills and alcohol to try and numb that, that's not healthy. So you should be concerned. It's not just her letting loose and getting drunk. I'm not going to say that that she's an alcoholic, but there's obviously an issue and you should be getting involved. You should be concerned, especially when they drink and they're mixing pills, but also lashing out and triggering Crystal, lashing out at a 14-year-old boy, being overly flirtatious and inappropriate with a married man. But they're okay with it because it's not their husband or their children. All right, I'm done speaking. Let me say thank you. Brittany, thank you so much for the super chat. Brittany says, how did Sutton carry another episode and she was alone for the holiday? For a second there, Brittany, I was like, is that Beyonce? Beyonce? Sorry, I had to do it. Beyonce's new album comes out tomorrow, y'all. I mean, it leaked in Paris. Gabriella, it leaked in Paris. Did you get a copy for us? It's all right. I'm gonna stream it tomorrow anyways. These women had whole families and no storyline. Anyone else think Britney looks like Beyonce? Right? Right? Doesn't she look like Beyonce? Oh my gosh. Just saying. Beyonce? Just saying. Thank you, Brittany, for the super chat. Norma, thank you so much for another super chat. Norma says, Erika telling Garcelle to not stand up for Sutton is rich. The only rich thing about her. Poor thing. Damn. All right. Team Kempire and Royal Court members, I'm going to drop the call-in link also for Team Kempire members right now. We already have a couple of members from the Royal Court membership available backstage. Members, I am going to do a special live, if I can, looking at real estate for members only. Sorry, everyone, you won't be able to see it. It will only be for the eyes of members. So stay tuned for that. I might do it. No, I can't do it tonight because we have Real Housewives of Dubai, but we're going to do it. We got to look through some property together. Yep. That's what happens when you join the membership. Anyways. All right. Brooklyn, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I think Erika sees Garcelle as a business opportunity for her hair extension with her connections and platform on The Real. Oh yeah, because this is before the reel was canceled. Probably. But you see that Erika does not come at Garcelle the same way that she comes at Sutton, because everyone views Sutton as meek and mild. But Sutton is showing them this season that she's not so meek or mild or dumb like the rest of them. Okay. All right. Shan says, let me become a member. Meow. All right. Let me get to the callers. Again, callers, no profanity, direct to the point, no derogatory statements. Okay. I mean, of course, you can share your views, but you know what derogatory means. Our community understands when I say that. All right. All right, Miss Brooklyn, you're up first. I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss Brooklyn? Miss Brooklyn? Did she have to step away? She probably did. She's probably working. I'm going to bring her down. Miss Brooklyn, we'll come back to you. Speaking of Brooklyn, Brooklyn Star's backstage. We'll bring her up. What's going on, Brooklyn Star?
Hey, Kempire. It's a Brooklyn takeover.
Right, I love it.
I just wanted to say, I don't think Kathy is faking her behavior. Every time I see Kathy, I can see how her and Michael Jackson were best friends. They have child-like behavior at times. But then I always see a moment of clarity in her eyes when she doesn't like something Kyle's saying. Like her head snaps up and she's just looking like, don't try it. When Kyle brought up Kim, she just tensed up and looked up like after the cameras come down, she's gonna give Kyle some words. That's how it looked. Asher and Diana were giving me like recycled what is it? Yolanda and David Foster. But their house and their party was much better in the entertainment. Like, remember when they had everybody over? David invited singers around the piano and that lovely Malibu house. And Diana tried, but they weren't giving that, but they were trying. I could tell. But if anybody else was doing that during Asher's performance, Diana would have ripped somebody's neck out. That was so rude.
Yeah.
What she was doing during that whole performance, but everybody's smiling and acting like this is normal. That's not normal. Shut up. It was so weird. And I like the fact that Lisa finally called out Erika in front of the cameras to say that it's not okay. I wish she would have called out Erika when she made that chicken tender comment, seeing that she's a mother of a daughter who has an eating disorder. Like, you would think she would be like, hey, like that's not cool. But she didn't. But I'm glad that she made a comment about it in front of the cameras. And I think Erika is purposely drinking for these group events so she doesn't get questioned by the group. I think because when she was talking to Lisa and Mikey and even Garcelle, she's very aware of what she's doing. And I noticed she drinks. If you notice, when she's with her friends or in her home, she's not drinking like that, seeing that, she should be more relaxed. She's doing that when she has to do group scenes. Because I think she didn't like the way anytime she's sober last season, they would question her and she's in her sober mind. She has to give a response. But being drunk is like a shield for her this season, I think. Oh, they're not going to question me because I don't have to be coherent. I don't have to answer questions. Because she clearly knows what she's doing. I don't feel sorry for her. But and can I also say, I've never seen this before. But do you notice how they keep showing random clips of Ava Dash? And I think they threw in these random clips because of this whole controversy of Diana and the way she talks to people of color. I'm like, why they keep showing Ava Dash? Why they keep having moments with her?
David Dash's daughter.
Yeah. They always have her in a scene. Like, I'm like, I wonder if this was re-edited to show that Diana does mingle with people of color.
The Housewives, they see these things before we do, and they do have comments to producers. They do edit these things sometimes.
Yeah, because it's very odd. It's just random clips of her thrown in there, and it's always focused on her. I've never seen them focus on people that are not of some point of the storyline. And I'm just like, oh, she does know somebody. Okay, sure. Okay, whatever.
All right. Miss Brooklyn, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. Bye.
Bye. All right. Let me see if we can get Miss Brooklyn back up. Okay, Miss Brooklyn Diamond, I'm going to bring her up. Hold on. Miss Brooklyn Diamond, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You guys can hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. Sometimes
Okay.
work calls. Yeah,
That's what I figured.
where's my link for that real estate thing? Because I got a lot to say about real estate now.
Well, I haven't posted the link yet, but I will, and it will be just for members.
All right. Um, I don't doubt that Erika is mixing the alcohol and drugs, but and the meds. Let's not say drugs. First of all, Garcelle never called her an alcoholic. Let's make that clear. Garcelle said that it's concerning for her that she's taking medications and mixing alcohol. And that should be concerning for her so-called friends as well. All these medications, any medication that you take that is a mood enhancement or mood altering or emotional altering type of medication tells you you're not supposed to have alcohol with these medications. Yeah. So it should be very concerning for her so-called friends if you are unable to stop drinking when you are on medications that is supposed to help you emotionally and mood-wise. I mean, if it was my friend, I would sit her down and say, you need help. You need to go to a therapist as well as taking these drugs because you're not supposed to mix it with alcohol. And if you can't stop drinking when you're on this drug, that's a problem. Let us just be honest about it. That is a problem. So miss me with the Kyle, she's just having fun. When you find your friend like Whitney Houston, when you find your friend like what's her name? Amy Winehouse, when you find your friend in that situation like that, was it just her having fun? You're talking about
one time.
Yeah, it can be an accident. It could be one, and she's not having one drink where you might say, okay, she's just having one drink. She took the medication 4 hours ago. She's inebriated. She is taking this medication and then drinking to the point where she is inebriated. That is a bad cocktail, and that can cost you your life. And if you are a friend, then you should be concerned. And I'm surprised with Kyle, especially because I understand how Garcelle's responding to it. I have a brother who has been an addict his entire life. His entire life, he's been an addict. The only reason he's not an addict right now is because he was hit by a car, he's a nursing home, and he's paralyzed. He's clean now. That was the only way that he got clean, but that happened because he was on drugs. So if you are a friend and you've gone through this and you've seen this with a family member, how do you stand by and say this is just somebody having fun? I would be so emotionally and mentally screwed up around this person because I can't take that. I went through dealing with an addict and what happens with addicts and the problems and the dangers that they cause themselves. I cannot be around a friend who's doing that same thing to have me traumatized. You want to talk about trauma. I'd be traumatized all over again. So Kyle can miss me with all of that. She can really just miss me with it. I have such a low thoughts on her right now because of that. If you were a real friend, you would get your friend some help. And her saying, oh, Lisa Rinna's kids got me through it. So a bunch of 20-year-old girls who are in and out of rehab all the time are the ones who are getting you through your rehab situation. Nah, again, miss me with all of that mess.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, did you notice Garcelle's face when Diana said, I think you really like me? Garcelle was like, yeah, okay, I was just coming to say goodbye. It's like, if that's not black girl shade at its best, trying on the show, like, Diana, read the room. Garcelle don't have no time for you. She got nothing to put into that. And just like everybody was saying in the chat, and you said it before, they're trying to separate Garcelle from Sutton. They want to keep, I don't know if they want to keep Garcelle because they like Garcelle, or they want to keep Garcelle right now, eliminate Sutton, and then next year it's going to be Garcelle's turn, and they're going to go full force at Garcelle.
It's like Survivor.
Yeah, really. It really, I think that's the real plan. Like, we need to get rid of both of them, first one, then the other, because Sutton looks like the weak link. But what the fake friends don't seem to understand is that Garcelle and Sutton are real friends. And they're not going to let you come between their friendship. They are not going to sit up here and play that game with you. Garcelle will call out Sutton if she thinks Sutton is wrong on something. Sutton will call out Garcelle if she thinks Garcelle is wrong on something. But that's what a friendship does. It's like, hold up, friend, back up. You're a little bit out of line on this, but we still maintain our friendships. Yeah. If you notice with the 5 of them, the 4 of them, the 20 of them, however you want to put it, they can't call each other out because their friendship is not strong enough to withstand the criticism. Yeah. And that's really, like Crystal had said, the way you can judge a friendship. I want my friends to criticize me. I want my friends to yank my chain. Like if I was in Erika's position or in a situation where we're out and I'm drinking, my friend should be able to yank my chain back and say, girl, yo, you need to put that drink down. You need to drink some water, or, you know, you're going to be picking yourself up off after I knock you down. Like, that's what a friend does. A friend keeps you out of harm's way, and a friend talks to you in an honest way. So, you know, that's what I take from that. That's what I'm seeing. And they're not going to win that battle because you can't break up a true friendship. You just can't do it. People have tried, and you can see how those people
continue to try.
Yeah, you can try, but a real friendship stays. Sorry, don't want to take up so much of your time. I know others are waiting. But anyway, have a good afternoon. See you later.
Bye. All right, y'all. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're taking callers right now. One of the things that it reminded me of in regards to this, in the after show, Garcelle and Sutton talk about how if Garcelle, you were acting the way that Erika was acting, I would pull you aside and be like, what's going on with you? And she's like, that's what a real friend does. And that's what I feel like we already knew. We already know. If you've been watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you already know that this is not a real friendship between Lisa Rinna, Erika, Jane, Dorito, or Kyle. It's not a real friendship. It's not a real friendship. And Sutton, I'd be very wary of Kyle and her friendship. Okay. Okay. We have quite a few people backstage, guys. As always, we will be dropping the call-in link. We have almost 1,800 people in the building for our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Be sure to like the video. Once we get to 750 likes, I will drop the call-in link for everyone to call in. But we already have like 7 people backstage that are waiting to get on. So everyone backstage, please be direct to the point what you want to talk about. No profanity, no derogatory statements. And let's not go through the entire episode. All right? I see that Gabriella is trying to make me hungry. Gabriella, what the hell?
It's my pie. Yesterday I tell you I make a pie. Now I make the pie today. It's my French pie by my own hand. I do it myself. And 2, I think you're gonna be liked very much the new album of Beyonce.
Wait, say that last part again.
I think you're gonna be very in love of the new album of Beyonce.
Oh, the album. Oh, you know what, Gabriella?
I say anything. I just
so you've heard the album already.
Liked it. You're gonna be liked it. I don't say that because I don't have any problem. You're gonna be liked it. Okay, I say that. Okay. And first for Erika, remember everybody we see a blind item about her, and they said one housewife maybe is faking it, her addiction with alcohol and medication. It's a blind item we see a few months ago before. The show. And I think maybe Erika, when you say that, she's going to be fired because she owned the fact she had a problem with drinking and medication. Maybe it's a strategy, first. And 2, I love the scene with Sanjit and Sutton. It's very, it's very nice and very, you see a woman try to seduce someone. It's very interesting. Very, very cool moment. And 2, I'm very interesting to see the reunion with the story with the husband of Kyle melting in the new lawsuit of Erika Jen and everything like that. I think it's going to be very interesting what we saw in the reunion. Yes, I do it by myself.
I'm very distracted. That looks very delicious.
I close it, but I think...
All right, we got to go, Gabriella, because you just took away my food.
Okay,
all right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
How dare she come up here with food? Okay, because of that, I had to take another bite from my banana. Mm-hmm. Look. Okay. Christina says, me on a low-carb diet. Oh my God, some of the best pastries and things like that are in France. Let me say thank you. Dom, thank you so much for the super chat. Fox Force is an alliance, not a friendship. That part. Rose, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, DJ Richie mentioned PK's DUI thing was brought up 3 weeks after it happened, which means production wanted to keep it out of Dorit's story until it was public. Okay. Again, still don't care. Still don't care about that storyline. I don't care when they brought it up. I don't care if they didn't bring it up. It wasn't it was silly. We don't care. Sorry, I don't Rose, I wasn't directing that at you. I'm just so over Dorit this season. Thank you to everyone that's becoming a member of the channel, guys. Don't forget, you can become a member of the channel at teamkempire.com/join. That is a new link, so be sure to join there. And don't forget, new merchandise from our Black label, Kempire merch, is now available at houseofkempire.com. All right, let me get into some more callers. Did we reach our goal? We did hit our goal, guys. We're almost at 800 likes. Like the video. I'm going to drop the call-in link for everyone to call in. But again, we already have a long line of members backstage that want to get up here and share their thoughts. So everyone, please be brief. All right, and I did see the breaking news about the Sweetie Pies star. I'll do a separate video on that, guys, just because I would like to keep this video focused on one thing. All right. Miss Beverly's backstage. I'm going to bring her up. What's going on, Miss Beverly?
Hey, Kempire. How are you today? I'm going to go quick
you?
and fast because I'm on my lunch. And just wanted to say, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll say it in the future. The reason that Erika came on this show was to create everything around her and Tom. She knew this was coming down the pipe. I really believe that, and I'll continue to believe that. And all that alcoholism and stuff, if it's true, I hope she gets some help. But Kyle trips me out how she does not want to label Erika, but you could call your sister out. I don't even get her. You can do things to your sisters that you won't do to other people. It's crazy. That's one thing. And I think what Diana and Erika both are doing, they're both trying to turn Garcelle against Sutton. I think they're trying to freeze Sutton out, but that's never going to work. Love seeing Sutton on her date. And that's all I'm going to say because I got to go back to work, and you have a good day and get you something to eat. Bye. I love all of y'all. Bye.
I appreciate it. I know a lot of you are on your lunch break, and we appreciate that. And those of you that are watching the replay of this, we want to know your thoughts. How would you rate this episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? What are you thinking about in regards to Erika's drinking and pill mixing this season? All right. I can see already in our live chat on YouTube, we have over 1,100, almost 1,200 votes. If you haven't voted already, be sure to vote. It's very close in regards to the ratings. But you guys rated this episode between 7 and 10 with 46% of the vote. 44% of the vote, you rated it between 4 and 6. I have to say these last couple of episodes have not been their best. But stay tuned because the coming of or the downfall of Kathy Hilton, we shall see. I don't know if it will be the downfall of Kathy Hilton, will be coming for later in the season. All right, BB24. I'm going to bring you up. Is this for Big Brother?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Kempire. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm usually up as El Michelle, but during Big Brother summers, I'm like literally engulfed in Big Brother. But anyway, so first off, with the Erika Jane story, the first thing I thought of when I heard Erika White was Frank White, as in the New York mobster. And I'm just thinking, was she married to somebody in that circle? Because, maybe the criminality comes naturally to her because maybe she started early. The second thing is interesting of the dislike people seem to have for Sutton. Is interesting, and it's not just the ladies on the show. It is I've seen other podcasters or YouTubers talk about Sutton, and what I find interesting is always, and other podcasters who are also in the Bravo universe as well that dislike Sutton. I find that they're always the fake and fugazi ones on their show. And I find it's interesting that Diana only likes you if you love her, and she feels like you put her on a pedestal. And if you notice, it's outside of Garcelle and Sutton, everybody else literally puts her on a pedestal in some type of way, and she shows them love and shows how much they appreciate her. And that is why I need LVP to let go of her pride and come back to the show. It is time, LVP. I want LVP to come back in such a slap in your face way to Kyle. Like, I'll come back as a friend of the show just to get under your skin. Like, I really want her to do something like that. And then, lastly, I'm thankful that Ava Dash looks like her mother. And also, like you were saying before, winter is coming, as in Aspen. Winter is coming. So y'all have a great day.
You too. Winter is coming. All right. Now, Austin says, I want to see LVP versus Diana. No, because this will be Diana's one and done. Diana does not need to come back. And that's all separate from her problematic behavior on social media. She's brought nothing. Even in this party, she's brought nothing. She should send a gift basket to Sutton. The fact that she even had anything this season. All right. Tamara, I'm going to bring you up next for a quick comment. What's going on, Tamara?
Bonjour, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Shout out to Gabriella in France. I will be in the neck of her woods next week, meeting my boyfriend's family for the first time. So wish me luck. Okay. So I just wanted to say, Garcelle, she's such the Haitian that I would be like that. Like, I'm Haitian too. So when Diana was like, you like me, I could see it in your eyes. And she's like, I know in her head she was going, mm-hmm. Anyway, and you notice she didn't even say, yeah, I do. So I was like, shade.
For a second, you sounded just like Garcelle.
Sorry?
For a second there, you sounded just like Garcelle.
Maybe we're family. Who knows? Anyway, but last thing was Sutton. I think the ladies don't like Sutton, want her out because she was Miss Investigator when all this stuff with Erika happened. And if they're doing shady stuff, they're afraid that Sutton will, do her own investigation and expose them. Maybe because it's like the Renas and of course, Erika and Kyle, Mauricio, like all their husbands were good friends, doing business together. So I think they're just a bit scared of Sutton. They want her off for that reason, not to be exposed, kind of thing.
Okay,
this is my opinion. That's all.
All right, Tamara, thank you so much and good luck with the parents.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Good day.
All right, Phoenix, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Phoenix?
Okay, I want to talk about, did you watch The Coming Attraction? I just hopped on, so maybe you already reviewed it.
No.
When Lisa Rinna's like, I will hunt you down. Okay. I don't understand why she would have any reason, or why any of them have any reason to be this mad at Sutton. It just feels like they need to have some sort of villain to make themselves look better. I'm not sure, but it's not really working because Sutton's not giving villain. She's kind of just always giving like, maybe I kind of say the wrong thing. But like, I feel like a lot of times when these women film the show, they think that it's going to look a certain way. Yeah. And then it just doesn't. Like, I think that Kyle thinks that saying, oh, she's having fun, she's like, that's not going to age well. And her daughter, unfortunately, is already being bullied because people can't stand her. And of course, her daughter does not deserve that. But it's also just like, okay, Kyle, bringing up the whole thing about her sister, especially when she knows how sensitive Kathy is about that. I mean, Kathy really said that she didn't want to join the show for a long time, and that Paris actually was against it because just of all the drama that it brought on their family. So for Kyle to want to bring that up was weird. And the last thing that I'll say is that as somebody who has been on Lexapro before, you can actually drink on these medications. You just have to know how to drink. So my only issue that I have is people kind of saying like, oh, well, because she's on these meds, like as if that's an excuse. Like, that's not really an excuse. She's drinking to get drunk and she's drinking too much. And like somebody else said who called in, She's doing it to avoid questioning. She's doing it to avoid responsibility. She's doing it because she thinks that it makes her look cute and funny and people don't want her to be uptight anymore. But I don't want everybody to spread the narrative that, you know, just because you're on this medication or this medication, you have to live your life this way or this way. Of course, you still have to be careful with alcohol. But as somebody who's actually been on those medications before, I was never told you can't drink at all. You just can't be a fool. And that's what Erika struggles with. And one last comment. Why does Mikey, we already said this before, why does Mikey look like that? What happened? And what does she have? Why is
money? Money's low.
What is the money has to be low. Money has to be low because for these little 15-second features, ooh. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.
Thank you, Phoenix. All right. Rasani's backstage, but before we bring Rasani up, guys, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Zara, welcome. It's not replay crew, but I guess you're probably rewinding back right now. But shout out to our replay crew. We want to know your thoughts on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Don't forget, we will be live later today for the Real Housewives of Dubai recap. Andy Cohen has revealed that they are filming today. He's confirming, I already know. He's confirming that they are currently in the middle of filming the Real Housewives of Dubai. So we will be recapping that later today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. The link is now available. Set your reminder so you can be notified. Also, join our Discord at teamkempire.com/Discord. That way you can also get notifications there. All right. Let me see. Hold on. Ooh, Rasani, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Rasani?
Hey, Kempire. Hey, chat. Hey, mods. Hope you all are having a lovely day.
We are. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Thoughts?
Okay. First, with Sutton and the date, I think Sutton, she looked a little bit uncomfortable on the date. And I think she looked uncomfortable because the cameras were there. So she, she didn't feel comfortable being vulnerable on camera. That's what I think. Because the way how she describes the first date, it seemed like very fun, light, carry on.
No.
Dorit, I don't know. Maybe you should have like some conversations with Garcelle because we all know that Garcelle doesn't have a storyline to save her life. However, everyone loves Garcelle on the show. You don't have a storyline. You're trying to create, from my perspective, trying to create a storyline and it's just not hitting. It wasn't until like towards the end of the episode that I realized that Dorit wasn't even at the party.
I didn't realize till after.
No, when I remember the party was in the beginning, I realized at the end of the episode, I was like, oh, she wasn't at the party. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize until I watched the after show.
Oh, okay. There you go. With Kyle, I'm not really defending her, and I know it may sound defensive. I think Kyle is a personality that she likes to brush things under the rug and not face things head on. Mm-hmm. Because, for one, Garcelle wasn't giving Erika a label. She said, are you not concerned that it could lead to alcoholism?
Yeah.
Just speaking from a personal experience of mine, my father-in-law, who is rest his soul, was a recovering alcoholic. He's like, at first he didn't like the taste of alcohol, but because he was in business and you're going to business meetings, you have drinks, and then it slowly will progress into that. As far as I know, I'm not an MD. We'd probably have to ask, Dr. Jackie and the gang. I don't think doctors recommend you take any form of alcohol when you're on any form of medication, whether it be, because I even Googled it from the last caller. It said,
we don't have to Google it. We don't have to Google it. Angela says she's a pharmacist here. Alcohol is to be avoided with Lexapro and Wellbutrin. So I don't believe a pharmacist.
Okay, there you go. But even when you have an ear infection, something light, and you're on antibiotics, they tell you don't take alcohol or don't drink alcohol with it. So I do think that everybody know that I'm not a team Erika stance. I really am not. don't believe she knew everything that was going on, but I don't believe that she was that ignorant to things that are going on. And all the blunt of everything seems to be falling down on her.
Mhm.
And I can see where that can be, heavy and difficult for one person to bear, because let's keep it real and be honest about it. Tom did the stuff. The other lawyers in his law firm, including his son-in-law, were involved in it, but nobody's talking about them really. It's all about Erika. And I know the reason for that. And the reason for that is because, she's showing no empathy or compassion or anything like that. So I get the blunt and I get the wanting to numb it. But to be honest with you, Garcelle is being a better friend to you than Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Dorit can go. Erika, stop trying to chase Sutton away. She's not going anywhere. Your little friend Diana will be gone before Sutton is. And that's all I have to say for now.
Thank you so much, Rasani, for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
You too. Bye. All right. Again, you guys don't follow directions. We're not going through the entire episode or through every cast member. All right. So please be brief, because there are people waiting that would like to weigh in regards to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Thank you so much, Angeline, for the super chat. She says maybe Dorit can help Sheree. Sheree. See, Sheree with She by Sheree, or She by Sham, like I say. I mean, she did do Beverly Beach, and it's cute. Is Beverly Beach still available? I don't know. All right. But I do. When we see Dorit work, I do see and respect Dorit in those moments, because I'm like, she actually seems to know what she's talking about. Not last season, I think, but the season before, or maybe it was last season, where she was helping Kyle with her runway show. I was like, seeing Dorit in that element, I was like, Dorit has a skill set. She has a skill set. No storyline, but a skill set. All right, Shad, I'm going to bring... Okay, so we have Shad, Kendall, Ham and Cheese, Kai, and Dewan backstage. We're not taking any more callers after these folks, so if you call in, I'm not taking your call. Pass it on. Let people know. All right? We've been live already an hour and a half. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We will be live later today to recap the Real Housewives of Dubai. And don't forget, a new episode of my podcast on Kempire Radio is now available. So be sure to check that out. It's called The Sweet Tea. So I'm talking about some hot topics, but I'm also talking about my trip to Tennessee. All right. Shad, I'm going to bring you up next for a quick comment. What's going on, Shad?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, this is my first time calling in. I love your channel. It kind of gets me through the day, but I'll be really quick because my lunch break ended like 5 minutes ago. So one thing, to be honest with you, the only interesting part of this episode to me was the last 5 minutes with Garcelle and Erika. And what really stood out to me was when Erika said that Sutton was a liability. Now, I thought that word was very strange, because I'm like, how can Sutton be a liability to you? Like, in what way could Sutton be a liability? And the only way that Sutton could be a liability is if she knows something in regards to what Erika has going on. And I was thinking about that whole information that came out about the Spelling Mansion, and how like Mauricio and Kathy Hilton's husband might be connected. And it seems to me as though Erika and her husband, like, they sort of developed like a sort of web with their scamming and scheming, where they just had they had a lot of people involved. And I'm now beginning to think that half of the housewives, at least that Fox 5, whatever, might be either knowledgeable or somehow connected to what Erika was doing. And maybe Sutton was approached with a business idea, but perhaps didn't engage in it. So she knows something. And I think that's why Erika was just like so upset about her going to a lawyer, and just overall, she just keeps pushing against Sutton. I don't know. I just think that
liability for Erika, not for Garcelle.
Yes, exactly. That's what I think. I just thought that it was a very odd term to use, and you would only use that if Sutton is a loose end in your scheme or scamming. So, so yes, I just wanted to like put that sort of theory out there. Like it's not confirmed. That's just what I'm getting from what I'm watching. But I definitely think that Kyle, Mauricio, PK, Dorit, maybe even Lisa, there's something is off with them. Like they're we call them scammers, but I guess in their world it's considered white collar crimes. Something somewhere somewhere along the line I think that they're involved. And that's it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Chad, for calling in. Go back to work.
Yeah. Bye.
I love it that you guys sneak in and listen, and that you guys listen to us throughout the day. Thank you for your support. We definitely appreciate it. But one thing I'm going to point out, don't forget to share us. Don't keep us to yourself. Don't let us be your little secret. Your coworker next to you probably does love pop culture news, and they probably like talking about reality TV. Sharing is caring. Thank you in advance. All right. Let me bring up more of the callers. We got Kendall up next. What's going on, Kendall?
Hey, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good. Finished with the county fair. Grandkids are happy. And I'm gonna follow along on, was her name Shad or Chad? I have a lot of the same thoughts. Last year, Sutton was the one that went to an attorney. She read through all the documents 3 times or 5 times, something like that. And because she didn't want it to like boomerang back on her and her character. So how is it that Erika didn't go to Paris's events because she didn't want her crimes to like reflect on the Hiltons? Well, it already has with this $27 billion lawsuit. And I agree with Shad. They knew there's something going on. Maybe Sutton discovered something about the Aaron Spelling mansion, or with
we can't hear you.
Husband calling.
Oh,
my husband. I'm sorry. So Sutton was going to take the LSATs. So maybe she's digging around. I do a lot of political research for people. So maybe Sutton discovered that. And did you see Kyle's heinous pink 70s leisure suit on the After Hours show?
No, I didn't even pay attention.
Huh?
I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh, it's like a 70s pink leisure suit. And Kyle did not look fortunate in it. She looked very unfortunate in it. And she looked like she gained about 10 pounds. That was not a good look for her. So I need my fashion police badge. And you guys have a great day.
You too.
I hope it didn't take too long. Take care.
No problem. Kendall, that was actually very efficient and quick. Rasani, thank you so much for the super chat. Rasani says, by the way, Sutton didn't out Erika on anything. The courts and the LA Times did. Exactly. Sutton just read the article, unlike the other ladies, and asked her lawyers questions. Exactly. They're trying to spin this narrative as if this hadn't been already playing out in the news this entire time. Okay. Okay, Ham and Cheese, you're up next. What's going on, Ham and Cheese?
Hi.
What's going on?
Nothing much. How are you doing, honey?
I'm doing well.
That's great. I have to hurry up, baby, because I got to clock in.
Oh.
So I'm gonna do this very fast. First of all, I do not believe that Erika Jayne is as drunk as she says she is, or that she's showing on the TV. I think that she's setting the same thing up that Tom did, and she's gonna use being incapacitated, being drunk, having difficulties, so that she can spread out from that lawsuit that's coming up for her real soon. I think it just makes the jury might feel a little sympathetic, because a lot of people do watch the show. As far as Kyle is concerned, after watching your very in-depth video, which made me feel stupid because I didn't understand any of the words that were being said once again, I felt like Kyle and her behavior from last season to this season, and her making up excuses for Erika and whatnot, is because she knew that eventually her husband's name, and also Kathy Hilton's husband's name, was going to come out in this $27 billion lawsuit. I mean, eventually it was going to come out. And once Erika and Tom were busted, it was only a matter of time before the rest of the world was going to find out exactly what Erika White was doing. I really hope that they just get her off of the show, because at this point in time, it's starting to look really sad. And I feel like the audience is not stupid. We can see what she's doing. It just doesn't add up with Miss White. I now agree with you. I will not be calling her Erika Jane. She is Erika White for the rest of her life in my house. That's all I had to say, because I'm about to get rode up, honey. Have a great day.
Not you about to get written up. Look, I know a lot of you, your lunch break is over, so I know a lot of you are exiting. So we are going to take these last couple of calls. I'm going to exit. I don't have a lunch break, but you know I have to go get lunch. All right. We're going to bring up Kai next. Oh, wait, 1 second, Kai. Let me just say thank you. Jack, thank you for the super chat, but I don't agree. He says, I don't like sharing my our Kempire. I'm a Scorpio. Come on. Come on. Thank you, Jack, though, for the super chat. All right. Miss White. And again, I'm just going to reiterate, Erika did post on her Instagram story, who's Erika White. Also, some attorneys are saying that this lawsuit, this $27 billion lawsuit, is just a man with crazy claims. We don't know yet. We shall see. I'll give you a follow-up once we know from some of the legal minds that we trust and believe when they review the court documents. Okay. But if you missed my coverage of that story, be sure to check that out here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel as well. It's also available on Facebook as well. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna bring up Kai next. What's going on, Kai?
Hello, Kempire. Hi, everyone. Y'all are all cracking me up with the lunch breaks and the clocking in, trying not to get written up. I'm gonna mainly focus on the whole lasting liability, because Dorit, I don't care. Crystal, I don't care, especially after that ET interview at Kathy's party. I'm over it, Crystal. I found it interesting because I think you said the after show was short. Actually, I think when we were doing this live, they released a 9-minute clip extended of the after show. And it was very interesting because Erika has a very much so different disposition about that dinner with Garcelle from the show to now. Because in the show, Garcelle was trying to ease in, which also I need people to forget. Garcelle already brought this up to Erika when she was talking to her about her kids. She says, you need to figure out the meds and alcohol. She has already brought this up to this lady's face. So now we're at this dinner, and she goes from tea to cognac. And Garcelle's like, you've been, drinking kind of a lot, da-da-da. And what did she say? Erika said, oh, no, I appreciate you trying to be gentle, but no, I was blacked out. And the after show, now all of a sudden she's saying, Garcelle's taking a hard line with me. I feel like it's mostly judgmental. Since she's been through this with her son, you would think she'd be softer with me. In the show, you literally said you appreciate her being gentle with you. And I think Garcelle is playing it smart because I feel like we wanted her to go in for the son and all that kind of stuff. But she has been saying what she wants to say, but saying it in very even-keeled, very caring manner. And they are still in the after show upset with her and saying she's hard and that's why we can't be friends. And so in the episode, it seemed like Erika was saying that Sutton was a liability for Garcelle because she doesn't know how to handle herself and da-da-da, which I'm just like, Rena was running away from a camera for the first time in her life because you were being served a $50 million lawsuit after Dirty Diana just took you all on a Hawaiian vacation. But in the after show, she's using liability in a different way. She's saying it's a liability because we want to be friends with her, but she keeps coming for Sutton. She keeps, protecting Sutton, da-da-da-da, and Dorit, her dumb behind scene right there. Yes, it's like, we can't, we just want to be friends with you, but we just she's so overprotective of Sutton and you just can't get to know her. So it almost seems like now they're trying to say that Sutton's a liability for their kind of friendship. When I really think is, they think they can get Sutton off the show, but they don't think they can get Garcelle because people don't know Bravo was hunting down for Garcelle, which is why in the first season she was still a full diamond and she was barely there because Garcelle told them she was busy, and they still allow her to have a full-time role and she was barely there. So I think they know that Bravo wants Garcelle, and also we think they're kind of racist with Garcelle. So I feel like they are going to create more of an issue now of Garcelle not being our friends because she's more friends with Sutton. And so I find that such an interesting play, especially when it comes to the four of you were watching your friend spiral. If it's a storyline or not, it's interesting that it seems like it's a storyline that's not between the friends, because even if, let's say Erika's faking it, wouldn't it have been a better storyline then for her friend to come to her rescue, to see her going through therapy and all that kind of stuff? But instead, we're watching Kyle, the woman who outed her sister in the first season about being an alcoholic in a limo. Like that doesn't like so I feel like they didn't really plan this well together. And I feel like that scene with Lisa and Erika was planned. Kyle told Lisa what Garcelle's been saying because Lisa has not been around. And so Lisa came, my sister, people didn't call her an addict, but she did overdose, which is Garcelle's point.
Yeah.
So I think that was a setup. Erika's using the word liability in two different ways, and they're trying to, pull Garcelle away from Sutton and make the issue that they don't like Garcelle because she's too protective over Sutton, instead of you don't like Garcelle and Sutton because they are onto you. Because Sutton knew some things. She still knows things. But those are my points.
All right, Kai. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. You guys in the chat are our best. Okay. Let me just say thank you. Candace, sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, why do housewives act like people can't read? The LA Times article was going to be published regardless. By the way, my hubby said hello. Hey, hubby. Thanks for watching. I love it when the guys watch too. The guys can watch me, right? Look, right? Okay, now we have another medical opinion here. Denise says, disclaimer, I am a registered nurse. It's never okay to drink with Lexapro. Just saying. I did capture these. JC says, Ronald Richards, I did see this, says it's a bogus lawsuit and he doesn't even like Erika. I'm waiting to hear from other attorneys because every attorney is not going to have the same opinion of a lawsuit. Keep that in mind based off what I've seen. But I did see him say that, and that's why I've said multiple times there are some attorneys saying that it's a bogus lawsuit. But here's the thing. Ronald Richards' association with the whole Erika Jayne situation and being fired, allegedly, from the whole bankruptcy situation. So I really don't go to Ronald Richards necessarily for anything when it comes to Erika Jayne, because I'm always kind of looking at him like, just saying. Gustav says, I don't know the confirmation of this. Gustav says, though, the CEO of Bank of America resigned when the story came out, the story that we covered in regards to the $27 billion allegedly stolen between Erika and Tom Girardi, allegedly. I need to go Google schmoogle that. All right. Last but not least, we're going to bring up Dewan. Hold on. What's going on, Dewan?
Hey, what's going on, Kempire? How are you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Well, I just wanted to say those are the chicest glasses I've ever seen. In
my
Dorit voice. No, I love Dorit. I feel bad because I feel like I was watching some video the other day and they were talking about how she could have been the perfect housewife. And I agree so much. I mean, she had Rihanna, just like all, the top celebs saying like she's a style icon and all of this stuff. And then she fell off. I feel bad for her. But in regards to what everybody kind of hinted on, then I'll head out of your way. I think it is very dangerous that Bravo is allowing Erika to openly talk about drug addiction and mixing that with an alcohol dependency on TV. As everyone has alluded to, it is extremely dangerous. And my thing is that at what point does it maybe become a liability for Bravo? I understand that you're trying to capture reality and actually what's going on in all of their lives. But that is so dangerous. I mean, let alone they have young fans, but it's just not a good look. It's not something that should be celebrated.
This goes back to the conversation we were having just last week about how Bravo handled the eating disorder and allowing Erika Jayne to almost give tips on what she does in regards to when she eats, she takes a laxative. So exactly. It is very dangerous.
It is. And I'm wondering why Beverly Hills, I obviously it's an all-white cast and that has something to do with it, but they just give them so many breaks. Like they're allowed to, be racist, be druggies, be just all of these things on television that if Atlanta or Potomac would try, I feel like it would be a much bigger story. And they would probably try to cancel the show. I mean, we've seen, with little things that they've said in Atlanta, as it relates to inappropriate or offensive terms to the LGBTQ community, and Bravo had a fit. Andy was blackballing, etc. And so I'm wondering if the punishments aren't fitting the crime just due to race and ratings, really. But I'm following along. It really hasn't been that interesting. I get, as everybody else says, more thrill out of the recaps here than the actual programming. But yeah, of course. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this evening as well.
Thank you so much, Dewan. Have a great rest of your day.
See you there.
Bye. All right. Let me just say thank you. We got a couple of super chats. Thank you, Rasani, for the super chat. She says, they can't fire her, but why can't they put her on pause? Erika, that is. You're asking me? We shall see what Bravo decides. They usually make these decisions closer to the reunion. Honestly, what is Erika bringing this season besides what she's doing currently? If she wasn't doing what she was doing currently, what would we be talking about? Her legal situation. Just saying. And I've said this multiple times about Erika. When she first came on the show, I was like, oh, I was interested. But since then, she's had nothing. She's been a non-factor to the show until all this legal stuff started happening and her life fell apart with Tom Girardi. Hold on. Okay, Designer Doll says, Garcelle's a pot stirrer. Why can't nobody see it? I think we see it here. We call her a little producer all the time. I think, well, maybe, I'm sure some fans don't see it, but we see it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. All right, so next week's episode looks like it's going to be interesting, but as you know, the rest of the season, it's going to be redirecting. Another situation where Erika Jayne is redirecting from herself. Now it's going to be all about Kathy Hilton. There's going to be some sort of argument between Lisa Rinna and I think Sutton. I mean, you just never know with editing. So there's more to come. Again, I'm going to stick by what I said. Dorito can go. Dorito can go. Sorry, Dorito. You've had a position on the show and are making millions of dollars off of the show, and you've brought literally nothing. And I don't care about your fashions. Again, I say this all the time, like I was saying about Sergio from the Real Housewives of Dubai. If I want to look at someone in designer gowns and things, I can go to Instagram. I can go to your Instagram. I don't need to see it on this show. I don't. Replay crew, as always, I want to know your thoughts, how you would rate this episode, what you thought of the episode, what you thought of what we said during our recap. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. We appreciate you as well for helping us keep the lights on here at the studio and continue to upgrade and improve and change everything that we're doing here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone watching on TikTok. We appreciate you being here as well behind the scenes. We appreciate everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you all for being here. Thank you to our moderators. Guys, don't forget to send some love to our moderators that allow us to have this open conversation and have a good time with it. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. I appreciate you all being here. Let's get out of here. Don't forget to like the video. Let's get to 1,000 likes. We're at 976 likes. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting our channel, but also other channels that might be recapping similar topics. Thank you. All right, let's get out of here. I'll see you guys 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the Real Housewives of Dubai recap. Bye, y'all.